When I was younger, I used to buy clothes in the wrong size. I would buy them too large because I thought I was huge. And then it's like somewhere along the way I realized, oh, I'm like a normal sized person and I should wear size medium, not large or extra large. And it made a huge difference in how I perceived myself, just in the way I dressed. And so that's what I mean. Like I had these sort of weird self-image issues, as many of us do. And then as the years progressed, now I think about how pretty I am, but more realistically and more objectively, and sort of in a way that says, you know, maybe I'm not pretty enough, but who cares? Definitely as a child, it was a real issue because I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and my brother and I were the only Asian kids in our school until we got to high school, and then there was another brother and sister who moved into our neighborhood, and they went to the same school. So there were 4 of us in our high school. So I always felt super weird and different. Like I looked different from everybody else. And so I don't know if it, I mean, I think that there was partially like wondering if I was pretty enough because there was a standard of prettiness, like blonde hair that like flipped back perfectly and you know, a certain shape, like long legs, and you know, like being Asian, I have short legs, so I just never fit into the classic look. And so that definitely had an effect on how I viewed myself as to whether I was pretty enough or not. And then when I went to college, there was like this Asian Student Association, and they were always like trying to get me to join, and it was very resisting. I'm not one of you, but then I wasn't one of them either. Like I was like right in between, wondering where I belonged, and the way I looked had a huge effect on my decision, like me figuring out where I belonged in the world. I'm not a natural blonde, and so I think that's kind of interesting. I always envied the blonde girls when I was growing up, like the ones who could sort of flip their hair about. Long, straight blonde hair was sort of the thing to aspire to. So I'm sure that has something to do with why I color my hair this way. But on the other hand, it's become such a part of my identity now. Like people, like it's hard for me to imagine myself as a brunette anymore. It's kind of weird, and I don't know if I'm better looking, you know, prettier or not prettier because of it. But it definitely has started to define me. So again, a physical feature can really define your character, who you are. And I'm very conscious. Yeah. I'm very conscious of the fact that people know me as the blonde half Asian, so to speak. I mean, that's how I have called it. Nobody ever actually dares say that, but they're thinking that I can tell. So yeah, I do think that my look has become like kind of iconic in a way, and so people do recognize me because I do look different, and I relish that. Now, again, when I was growing up, I did everything I could not to look different. I conformed in every possible way, and in fact, when I was really young, 2nd or 3rd grade, I changed my own name from Philippa to Anne, a 3-letter name that was easily pronounceable and very waspy sounding. Although Philippa is a very waspy name, it's very British, but people they always thought it was Filipino. So, anyway, so I even changed my name because I was like, you have to call me Anne from now on. And so that was a reaction to just wanting to conform. But that's, you know, that's sort of that process of figuring out your identity. You want to conform, but then you rebel. But now I'm just sort of like, wow, I don't ever want to be like everybody else ever again. Not just in my name. Now I love my name. Now I love the way that I look a little different from others. I try to dress a little different than others. Like I relish being contrarian. My advice to my 16-year-old self is seek out the best people you can possibly find and just be around those people and cut out the people who tell you that you're not good enough. Because it does matter that the people around you care about you and think you're awesome and badass motherfucker.